DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines, proudly brings you Equal Justice. Find out the hottest legal issues of the week and hear the analysis. And now, here are your hosts, Attorney Ador Tolentino.
Yes to peace, no to BBS.
Facebook yan.
Facebook. Okay, if you want to follow.
Attorney June Kicho.
Kailangan ano pa yun, comfort level eh.
Exactly.
And Attorney Tiki Tabuhara.
Vice President Binay, pati si Pinoy, pati si Executive Secretary. Chief.
Beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's March 19, 2016. Good afternoon, Panyero, Tiki.
Good afternoon, partner. Welcome, and it's good to be back because I went on an early vacation. For this week, inunahan ko din yung Holy Week kasi alam ko Holy Week parating, maraming tao lalabas. So, Thursday pa lang lumakad na ako.
Ayos.
Then, I just came back just for this show kasi nimiss na kita.
Nice. Namiss din natin yung topic kasi we're going to have a second discussion. It's going to be a series until the matter is resolved. Okay? On the Supreme Court decision of on the disqualification cases of Grace Poe. And as we speak, as of yesterday, I believe that the respondents in the four petitions
Filed their motion for
have
reconsideration.
filed their joint motion for reconsideration. This is
Apat yata, no?
yes.
Apat sila, no?
So they join forces.
That is Francisco
Contreras,
Contreras, Amado,
Valdez and
Ilan
Star
Paro.
Amparo. Yes. So they join forces, and of course, it's going to be a showcase of their legal, knowledge and the depth of their arguments.
Ang nabasa ko, partner, parang what they're asking the Supreme Court basically is to take a second hard look at the facts.
Oh yeah.
So they are
and at the same time, the application of
the
law and doctrines, jurisprudence, and even take really a hard second look at what is the effectivity of these generally accepted principles of international laws and customary international laws or conventional international laws and our treaty obligations. Just how forceful this
is the
external legal precepts, international precepts.
As we know, partner, all these international treaties, these international conventions are all incorporated only in our municipal law.
Exactly.
Yung country law natin.
Meaning,
yes.
they are treated in the same manner as our local legislations. Meaning these legislative measures or the laws that are enacted by Congress. That's what we mean when we say international laws have that status of municipal laws as far as our Philippine jurisdiction is concerned, because the supreme law is always the Constitution. It can never be otherwise. Otherwise, for what is the purpose of an independent sovereign state if its Constitution can be dictated upon, expanded, restricted, interpreted in the light of international laws? That would be the height of trampling our sovereignty. Exactly. That's my point there. And that's exactly the point of the dissenting opinions of at least two justices that I've read. Okay, I'm referring to Justice Carpio and Justice Brion.
Actually, maganda yung mga dissenting opinions. And if you look at the dissenting opinions of Justices Carpio and Brion, more or less they're saying the same thing,
Yes.
Kasi sila yung nakaupo dati sa Senate Electoral Tribunal
SET.
with Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro. So, more or less you can see that their opinions on this case of Grace Poe, Lemanzares, are actually already formed already.
Yes.
So, dito pa lang, at the early stage of the Senate Electoral Tribunal, they already voted against already her running, di ba? Doon sa Senate, no?
Yes.
Based on, the citizenship and residency.
No. In the city, no residency.
Citizenship.
And it was established as a fact that the date stated in the COC Grace Poe filed when he ran for the Senate, the date stated there September something, 2006.
Kulang ng ilang buwan.
Yeah, she was held, okay, onto that. Meaning that date that she declared herself, it was a date of reckoning for purposes now of counting whether or not she is compliant with the 10-year residency requirement
prior to May
uh,
2000 October when she filed her certificate of candidacy.
Yes, for her to be qualified to run for the position of president, and that's on the residency matter. Now, insofar as Justice Carpio is concerned, I think he's of the opinion that that declaration under oath, okay, already binds her as to the date when she reestablished her residency in the Philippines.
Ang maganda partner kasi itong si Justice Carpio as to style, no? Idol ko din to kasi he was also a practitioner in a major law firm in Makati before he became Supreme Court Justice. So yung mga decisions niya, talagang hindi yung academic practical, diba? Practical. And if you read the language of his decisions, very clear,
that's right,
lucid,
that's right,
diba? Hindi yung palaboy-laboy na mga salita. And he goes straight to the point.
You can readily identify
what he's trying to say.
His point. The
Tsaka
legal
may basis. So he argues on the basis of the law, not philosophically.
Right.
Diba? Unlike yung mga, ito partner, yung mga iba, no offense to sa ibang justice, no? But some of them, they do not come from practicing lawyer backgrounds. They come from academic backgrounds. Yung iba naman never held a case in court tapos biglang naging Supreme Court Justice. So you can see the difference in the writing style.
Right.
Iba eh.
Kasi if you are a practitioner talaga, the rule of evidence really rings, quite familiar in your ears every now and then. And you win cases because of evidence you present to bolster the position of your client.
If I remember correctly, there was itong si Justice Artemio Panganiban. He also was a practicing lawyer before. Kaya makikita mo yung decision
niya very practical.
Ganon din, diretso rin, di ba?
In fact, one of the simplest styles in writing decisions, I would attribute it to Justice Panganiban because very clear, here's a nature of the petition, here are the facts, the issues, and ruling.
Parang position paper ng labor.
For people, students of the law who would digest the case, it's
Klaro
easy.
Na,
Unlike the style before of
70s, 60s,
Chief Justice Enrique Fernando.
Patay niyo na.
No, what I mean is, he was definitely poetic and philosophical.
Yes.
He would always start his decision, in a philosophical question.
Actually, I do not mind long decisions, no. But as just itong si Dean Professor Father Bernas, Joaquin Bernas, he said long case law makes long decisions makes bad case law. So the more lengthy the decision, ibig sabihin may pinagtatakpan ka.
Because you get lost. Just what exactly you're zeroing.
Correct. Pinagtatakpan mo yung tama. Okay, now if it's a short decision, say 20 pages or less, diretso na, klaro na.
I think that is...
Wala nang dahilan.
Yes, partner. I think that is consistent with the saying that, less words, less mistakes.
Correct.
More words,
parang
more mistakes.
Not only mistakes, pero parang may pinagtatakpan ka eh. Parang may pinagdadahilan ka na...
gusto mong takpan sa plethora of verbosity.
Na parang pinalulusot.
But qualification itself, both based on both issues, it seems like it still is living hanging in the balance. Yes.
Which does not do us any favor because as lawyers in the legal community,
no categorical judicial declaration.
We want a clear and convincing decision which will lead the way kasi ito yung susundan natin later on years later, di ba? So pag may tumakbo ulit na fumbling, he will always point to this Mary Grace Poe case.
Exactly.
Now, if they do not leave, the Supreme Court does not leave a categorical, plain and clear decision on the matter at medyo malabo pa, it will open the floodgates for
others, okay, and alien fathers but must elect citizenship at the age of
They are not
majority.
natural born. Kasi mag-i-elect pa sila.
Exactly.
Oh.
So they're going to do something to acquire it.
To perfect their citizenship.
And lastly, by naturalization. So the Constitution is very clear. What the majority tried to justify their decision in resolving natural citizenship status in favor of Grace Poe was this Constitutional Commission or Convention minutes, where allegedly the intent was clear that foundlings are already deemed included in the enumeration, etc., etc.
Actually, tama si Justice Carpio. Justice Carpio said in his dissenting opinion that there are actually two general classes of citizens. Those who are born jus sanguinis by blood,
Yes.
which is natural born, and those who are naturalized, or
Right.
elect citizenship. So,
Exactly.
dalawa lang yan.
Yes.
The latter,
And we're not even talking about you solely here.
the latter are definitely not natural born. So the issue in this case is not whether Grace Poe is a citizen. Because sabi
Yes.
pa din Justice Carpio, she's
Citizen
clearly a
siya.
citizen, but she's not
Naturalized siya.
natural born.
Naturalized siya.
Yun ang tanong. So, the office of the President of the Republic of the Philippines is reserved exclusively by the sovereign power of the
Exactly.
Constitution to natural-born
Yes.
citizens. Now, how can you allow a non-natural born citizen to sit as President of the Republic of the
And
Philippines?
become the
Yan ang tanong eh.
commander-in-chief
Ayan ang tanong.
of the armed forces of the Philippines.
Okay, may maganda siyang sinabi. Actually, I wrote an article. I think I posted it on your Facebook wall. Pati doon sa Facebook wall ng Equal Justice. No?
Yes,
They can, if the viewers can look at our page, no? Equal Justice Facebook.
DZRJ, 8:10 a.m. Facebook.
Okay, I wrote an article or a long post giving an example because according to the ruling of the Supreme Court, and Justice Carpio used the same issue, no, that if a person like Arnold Schwarzenegger, clearly a foreigner, ako
Yeah.
naman Donald Trump ang ginamit ko
Yes.
ran for President of Philippines, walang magawa ang COMELEC.
Ang COMELEC.
Until
Until
after
manalo
he's
siya.
elected and there's electoral
Exactly.
protest before the Presidential Electoral Tribunal.
Because the import of the majority decision is that
No
COMELEC has no jurisdiction to rule on qualification
Okay.
of candidates.
Okay, we both said during the last...
Ibang klase yun, ano?
Correct.
Kakaiba,
Mali.
kakaiba.
So, common sense and our logic as lawyers tell us that that was a wrong decision. Now,
Yes. Your mother is a Filipina and you have an alien father. Okay? So pareho, wala na pong distinction yan dun sa Filipino father at Filipina mother. Second, there's no legal presumption in favor of Philippine citizenship. You always have to prove always that you are a Filipino citizen, whether you are a natural born or naturalized. Okay? That is your lookout always. Okay? Third, the 1935 Constitution clearly excluded foundlings as to be considered as natural born because they are not part of the enumeration. Okay, the only way that foundlings found in the Philippines can be considered Filipino citizens would be by naturalization, which is the only existing statute, local legislation, or municipal law at the time. Okay. Fourth, there's no treaty, customary international law, or a general principle of international law granting automatically Philippine citizenship to a foundling at birth. Pare, inisa-isa dito niya ni Justice Carpio all the treaties na pinagbabasehan ng arguments ni Senator Grace Poe kung bakit as part of the community of nations medyo dapat we subscribe na. Yes, there's no argument against that. We subscribe, but all these conventions, they are very clear in their language. The language is the right to acquire nationality. So Carpio said, the right to acquire does not mean that you are given automatic citizenship, but it's up to the state. And all these convention and declarations are very clear that they still give leeway to the states, okay, to
to give their qualifications
yes,
as to who they,
yes,
what their
determine
requirements
who are the nationals
are their
of-
citizens.
Exactly.
Which is citizenship is really a national issue.
It's a
It is not
prerogative of the
international.
state.
It's not an international issue. So
Mm.
whether you are a citizen of a certain country or not, that is for
Defined
the
by
state,
the national law.
for the national law of the state to determine who are its citizens. Okay, malinaw yan. But there's
Exactly.
one thing, partner, that I
Mm.
don't agree with no, kay Justice Carpio.
Oh.
Although I agree with pretty much everything that he said.
Mm.
But yung hindi lang ako agree with the decision of Justice Carpio,
Yung sa
dissenting opinion.
citizenship, you have to prove always.
Okay, that is one, no? Na ako kasi for me, no, a citizenship is always, for me, should be presumed. Okay, for me,
Mahirap yan,
No,
pare.
but
And you're exactly basing it now on the majority decision.
Let me
Okay,
clarify, no. In the case of a child of minor age, no, one month old, mukhang Pilipino naman, pinanganak sa Pilipinas, found in the Philippines.
Mm.
For me, the best possible solution for that situation would not be for there to be a presumption in favor of the child. Okay? Let's say below a certain age, 1 year, 5 months, hindi naman pwedeng a child cannot just go to a country, no, at less than 1 month old at binabayaan lang siya doon. Napaka far-fetched yung scenario. So what I would have
you're
done,
zeroing in on citizenship, not
yes,
natural born
okay,
status.
But for natural born status, I would also adopt the same approach.
Yes.
It is unfair, no, for a foundling less than 1 month old to be found born in the Philippines, to say that that person is a foreigner just by virtue of that person not having a birth certificate. Now, a birth certificate, as we know,
Maybe we
sa
don't even
practice,
say foreigner, partner.
or not natural born. Okay, but
not,
the point is,
not a Filipino, but not necessarily
for
foreigner.
me, the birth certificate should not be conclusive. What would be the best evidence to prove that this person is born of a Philippine mother? Okay, sabi natin the birth certificate.
Yes.
Okay, but as we know, those birth certificates and those simulated births are all nagagalaw naman yun, nagagawa naman paraan yan, di ba? I have cases right now, my
Yes,
partner,
yes.
na pinalsify yung birth certificate and walang nangyari, no? Clearly, no? Very clear, no? Na false allegations, and yet, you know, binigyan ng, we're giving too much weight on the birth certificate, no? Na alam naman natin, we all know as lawyers that we have cases, no? So many
Yes,
cases
yes.
na pinalsify yung birth certificate, simulated birth, you know, altered yung birth certificate, marriage status, binago doon sa
Yes.
registry of deeds. So,
But let's just go to far
let's
away
not go
from
to that.
this.
Okay, but so
because
how do you prove?
In
That's
this
the
case,
question.
wala namang issue na
Okay.
na pinalsify yung birth certificate
which
niya.
although may lumitaw, may lumitaw kay Susan,
Okay.
no, I think the mother yata may lumitaw na birth certificate
Simulated
na
yata.
later on, lumalas. Okay, now, going back to what we
At
discussed.
sinasabi yung adoption daw, hindi baka kinorek yun.
Going back to what we discussed during the
They
break,
have
no?
to cover their tracks.
Sa break kasi, what we were discussing was that, okay, the citizenship can be proven by DNA testing. Okay, now, that can only be done if you have known presumptive parents.
Yes.
Okay, more or less, kilala mo, ito, tatay ko si ganito, nandun sa
Yes.
Ilocos, and then, binanganak ako ng 1966. So, more or less, you can trace, if he's still alive, you can trace the father or the mother,
Yes.
and have a DNA test, no? But if that is not possible, how do you prove that he is natural born? Yan ang tanong niya. It is a matter of evidence, sabi Justice Carpio.
Yes, yes.
How do you prove, apart from the birth certificate and the DNA
Ang
test?
minention niya dyan is a
How?
DNA.
Kaya nga, DNA. So you do not know, the DNA presumes that you have presumptive parents.
Yeah. Kasi,
Ngayon, kung maghahanap ka among the 100 million Filipinos, so please come forward and volunteer if you are my parents. Magpa-testing tayo.
Alam
Wala
mo,
namang ganun
partner
eh.
ito, sabihin ko sa iyo.
Okay, but
As popular as Grace Poe, Iloilo is not such a big city.
Iloilo ba o Ilocos?
Iloilo siya eh. Okay? Alright? Pare,
Parang alam ko Ilocos.
pare. Okay. Kung i-presume natin na anak siya ng Pilipino dahil iniwan siya, it could not be a foreigner nag-iwan sa batang foundling sa harap ng Haro Church. Okay? Pare, it is unnatural and it is un-Filipino, okay, for no one to come out in the open and lay claim that they are relatives of
Baka patay
Grace
na.
Poe. Pare,
It's
mauubos ba naman,
1960s.
pare, mauubos ba
1960s.
naman ang lahi mo? Ikaw pare, pinanganak ka, wala ka bang pinsan, kapatid na pwedeng nag-perpetuate ng pangalan
The
ninyo?
problem there is that nung pinanganak siya, maaring sikreto wala nakaalam. Yun, si nanganak sa bahay.
It is
And then
a
suddenly,
contrived
iniwan.
plan,
Iniwan.
pare.
So,
It's a
Pagka yung mga pinsan, di alam, mga kapatid, di alam di ba?
Contrive yan kasi kung yung mga taong totoong kamag-anak niya, ayaw nilang lumabas ang katotohanan, yun.
Meron din lumabas, di ba yung kapatid daw lumabas?
Sino? Si Senador din.
Willing! Di ba? Sabi, I recognize her as my sister.
In fact, nagtatawagan daw sila ng bro and sis.
Bro, so...
Nagagalit naman ng anak no.
Una natin ng sample ng dugo, testing natin, di ba? Napakasimple, di ba?
Well, they should do that.
And then, the allegation that, si Ama, tatay ni Grace Poe, okay, fine. Then, maaring matrace natin DNA ni Senator Grace Poe doon sa umamin na kapatid, di ba?
Yes,
Or ba't hindi pa ginagawa?
Bakit nga ba hindi? Kasi nga, unlikely nga, as I've said, di ba? Unlikely, magiging presidente, walang lumalabas na kamag-anak. Ibig sabihin, yung totoong kamag-anak, ayaw lumantad.
O kaya, baka...
May rason.
Baka...
It will open a big Pandora's box.
Of scandal.
And lies, sex, videotapes,
which is
lies.
The next topic. The next topic natin, anti-voyeurism and video.
I'll leave you with that
Sige,
partner.
Sige, ako na bahala kasi ako expert dun
Yes. Because I need to go back to my ongoing conference.
So,
incidentally, I'd just like to plug that, okay? For 2 days, since yesterday and today, the Philippines is hosting the Rotary International Presidential Conference on water, sanitation, and hygiene in schools, or what we call the WASH Conference. And this is being held at the Marriott Grand Ballroom. That's March 18 and 19. And we have among the dignitaries in the Rotary International world, no less than our incumbent RI President Ravi Ravindran from Sri Lanka, and other dignitaries from the Rotary Foundation, like former RI President Ray Klingin-Smith. And this is convened by our RI Director from the Philippines, Giliar Tumangan. Kapatid to ng ating brad na si past District Governor din Ed Tumangan.
Ed Tumangan.
Yes, he's
IDPQC.
Yes, Director Giliar is our Charter Governor in District 3830. And this is the organizing committee, of course, is chaired no less than my District Governor, Sid Garcia, and I happen to be part of the proceedings committee, Panyero. So I need to leave and cover the 3 o'clock breakout session with President Ravi, no less as the panelists. All right. So with that, I have to leave and see you next week, Panyero.
Sige.
Bahala ka na.
Okay.